You get the approval email, you see the words there, e-residency of Estonia, and your brain immediately does the most human thing possible. Cool, I'm basically an Estonian resident now. Then you book a flight, land in Europe, and border control is like, so what visa are you entering on? And that's the moment people realize the single most important thing about e-residency. It's not a visa, it's not residency, it's not a travel right, it's a digital ID. So let's break down what e-residency actually gives founders, what it absolutely does not, and how it combines or competes with the digital nomad visa we covered last time. E-residency is a government-issued digital identity that lets you access Estonia's e-services remotely. In practice, it's about secure online authentication and legally strong digital signatures, so you can run a lot of company admin without being physically in Estonia. That's why founders love it. You can set up and operate an EU company online, sign documents digitally, and keep the whole thing lightweight and location independent. And the system is built to be used by people who are not in Estonia. Now here's the anti-hype part that saves everyone time. The e-resident digital ID card is not a travel document or visa. It doesn't give you citizenship, tax residency, or physical residence rights. And it does not automatically grant you access to banking or financial services. Those come separately via private providers and their own compliance rules. So if your plan is get e-residency, move to Tallinn and live your best EU life, you're mixing up tools. Which brings us to the cleanest comparison: e-residency versus the digital nomad visa. Think of it like this: e-residency is for running your business remotely. Nomad visa is for being physically in Estonia while working remotely. Estonia's own e-residency channels summarize it the same way. The visa gives the right to stay temporarily. E-residency does not give any travel rights. That means versus is usually the wrong framing. For many founders, it's a stack. If you want a legal base in Estonia for a year while you build a network, the digital nomad visa covers the physical presence. If you want the ability to sign, manage, and incorporate in Estonia's system without living there, e-residency covers the digital layer. Together, they can make Estonia feel like a real operating system for founders. One part immigration, one part company infrastructure. Now let's get concrete. What do you actually do with e-residency as a founder? The headline use case is incorporating and running an Estonian company, usually an OU, fully online. The e-residency ecosystem itself describes the flow as apply for e-residency, then start a company online quickly, then run it long-term with digital signatures and online filings. And the secret sauce is the signature. Estonia uses high-trust digital signatures. The qualified electronic signature level is treated as equivalent to a handwritten signature in law, and Estonia's ID infrastructure explains that the top-level digital signature is equal to handwritten. This is why e-residency feels like a superpower for founders who are tired of printing, scanning, couriering, and doing the please initial page 17 dance. Now, the second most common founder misunderstanding is thinking e-residency is free once you have it, or that the card is some vague membership. But here's the real boring operational side. You apply online and pay a state fee. Since January 2025, the state fee is a flat €150. The official e-residency knowledge base repeats the same number and notes there are no annual maintenance fees for the digital ID card. The timeline is usually described as roughly 3 to 8 weeks, and you choose a pickup location when you apply. Picking it up is not, they mail it to you and you're done. You show up to an appointment, your identity is verified, fingerprints are taken, and you receive the kit with the card and reader. Also, the card typically sits at the pickup location for 6 months. After that, if you don't collect it, it gets returned and destroyed. Okay, you've got the card. Now you want to incorporate. This is where founders meet the third reality. Even if the company is digital, there are still a couple of physical requirements. To register an OU, you need a legal address, and if the management board doesn't physically reside in Estonia, you also need a contact person. The e-residency knowledge base states this directly and points out these services can be purchased from licensed virtual office providers. And yes, there are state fees on company registration too. The e-residency knowledge base lists the state fee to register an OU online as €265. There's one more founder detail people trip over. If you're doing a multi-founder company and you want everyone to be able to act in the system and sign, each founder typically needs a compatible Estonian-supported digital ID, and e-residency is the standard way to get that if they don't already have local ID options. Now, let's connect this back to the Digital Nomad Visa, because this is where founders can actually make good decisions instead of collecting programs like Pokemon. If you're a remote-first founder who doesn't need to live in Estonia, e-residency can be the operate an European company remotely tool, especially for signing, admin, and setting up an Estonian OU. If you do want to live in Estonia for a year, the Digital Nomad Visa is the legal basis for stay, but it doesn't magically solve business infrastructure by itself. Estonia's own comparison page frames it similarly. E-residency is for remote business operations. The Nomad Visa is for temporary physical stay while working remotely. The wrong approach is thinking one replaces the other. The right approach is choosing based on your actual founder needs this year: physical presence or digital infrastructure, or both. And now, the part that matters for founder sanity, what e-residency won't do for you, even if your company is perfectly legit. It won't automatically open a bank account. It won't make compliance disappear. It won't upgrade your immigration status. Estonia says that pretty bluntly, the card does not automatically grant access to banking or financial services, and it provides no travel rights. If you want Estonia to work smoothly, you still need coherence. Your structure, your documentation, your money flows, and your story need to match. If you're watching this and thinking, okay, this sounds useful, but I don't want to guess my way through setup choices and the knock-on effects, that's where Icon.Partners can help. We don't do hype or guarantees. Instead, we provide practical guidance on Estonia based on your specific situation, especially when e-residency, banking, and relocation decisions connect into one strategy. You'll find a link to our website in the description. By filling the form, you will get full quality support for working with this jurisdiction in a structured, realistic way. Because the best way to use Estonia's e-residency isn't to treat it like a residency status, it's to treat it like founder infrastructure, a legal, government-backed way to operate digitally, sign fast, and keep your company admin lightweight. Thanks for watching, and if you're coming from our Digital Nomad Visa episode, your next move is simple. Decide whether you need Estonia as a place and e-residency as a tool, or the combination that lets you test the country while building like a modern remote founder.